local roots?
Yep. Grew up in Bossier City. And then when I got into the workforce after high school, I got recruited out to Dallas because there wasn't a lot of work here for technologists like me. And then when I came back, before I left, I got basically started my long distance relationship with my then girlfriend turned fiance turned wife 10 years ago. So,
So that brought you back.
yep, that brought me back. Family brought me back, like most here, and certainly is a strong weight to keep me here.
But that stream of people coming back is surpassed by the stream of people leaving. How do you stop that as one city council member?
Well, I think you need all the city council with you behind you on that, but certainly I do want to point out, and you're right, you're absolutely right. There's more leaving than coming in. But what I often don't hear talked about is all the people coming in. Like, what can we do to increase that number, right? We're always going to have people leaving. That's just the churn of a city. But why aren't we marketing out to these small cities? Like, if you look at the census map of data, I had to bring
his youngsters with him.
Yep.
Got to open up his chocolate milk. That's a good dad. Thank you.
But if you look at the census maps, you can click on our Caddo Parish, and then you can see everyone who's coming in and everyone who's leaving and where they're going. The neat part about all that is that all of the surrounding cities around us are starting to come in. I'm seeing that's where the majority of them are. So they see us as the destination, like we see all the other big cities as the destination, right? Why can't we be like a beacon for those cities and really start to work to get people here from those cities? That's how I think you can kind of turn this around or slow the attrition down enough so that we can keep the tax base here and really start to boost Shreveport.
We also have flight, though, from Shreveport to Bossier to DeSoto Parish.
Yeah, that's true.
Are there some secrets that you have in your pocket that could help change that?
So some of the exciting things that are happening in Shreveport that I've been hearing about and talking with people on, I've been being interviewed several times this week on the entrepreneurial landscape here. So, like, if you are a startup or small business starting up, or you've got a venture capital, high growth sort of idea, there are outlets here that you can go to get that funded, to get help starting up, etc. The EAP and the BRF, they are expanding, and you might have covered this already, but they're expanding into many other different regions. And so this kind of is another example of how we could become sort of that beacon for the surrounding areas. Start investing in these companies, right? Like, they can come from anywhere. We could try and attract and retain people here as long as we had the talent and the skill set. And that, there is something in my back pocket for that. I have been working with the school system as a technologist and technology company. We're trying to get programming curriculum into middle and high school. They're all on board. The administration and the schools are all on board with K through 12 coding curriculum, and they're working with Apple to get K through 5. We just helped Apple at Twin Engine connect up to our state for certifications to be approved at the state level for schools. 1 second, buddy.
Our tax structure, I'm talking to Keith Hansen, Council District D candidate. Our tax structure right now in Shreveport, is it okay? Could you pledge no new taxes during your tenure as a council member?
Yeah, I figured you'd pop that one back on me in this. That was a good question in the moderated forum, but hey, we're talking.
Hang on just a minute,
Yeah,
and he'll
we're
get with you,
almost
okay? 1 second.
1 second, buddy. No new taxes. I can promise that I won't even consider new taxes until we start reducing some of the waste in city government. One of the things that I want to do is implement transparency and accountability and make those reports accessible and understandable to the general public. That's a big plank of mine, is introducing transparency across as many departments as possible.
Cross Bayou Project, one example of, could city money be used to help entice businesses to come to town? The Cross Bayou, one example. Would you support things like that that would involve public dollars?
Absolutely. Look, not cross Bayou though. I do support public-private collaborations for sure. I think my business is a walking example of that. We do public-private collaboration with the school system to try and get apprentices into our shop and things like that. But I disagree with pouring money into people who build it and they will come. That is not how we're going to change Shreveport. I'm tired of talking about Megacorp USA coming and dumping thousands of jobs on us when we have hundreds of small businesses doing just as many jobs as these Megacorp USAs. Right?
Last 30 seconds.
Sure.
What sets you apart from the other candidates in District D?
Our entire world is run by technology. We have a $1.3 million bid out right now for our court system software. I think it could be much cheaper than that. And who can tell you that except someone who can actually understand and build that sort of thing? So if you like people who know about infrastructure for mayor or who know how to manage for mayor, who know about crime for mayor, I think technology should be as important as all of those because it has the power to change our city.
Keith Hansen, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. It is time to check in with Ruben. Here's traffic.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Kings Highway near Linwood Avenue, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Rain chances ramping back up tonight and will take us through the day on Saturday. Clouds in the forecast today with a shower, 72. Showers likely tonight, low 59. Rain likely in the morning tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 68. Sunshine on Sunday. Sunday's high, 63. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
One oh one seven FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin in the morning. Dan Keel is here. We got another special guest in studio.
This is Grayson Butcher. He's running for District D also for the City Council of Shreveport.
Grayson, we met at the forum. I moderated a forum for District D, so I met all these guys down there briefly. Didn't get to go kind of one-on-one in depth with you. It was kind of quickly and et cetera. First off, tell folks your first opportunity to speak to a lot of different people right now. Tell folks who you are, what you do, why you're doing this.
Well, thank you, Erin. I appreciate you and Dan having us to tell about our platforms and who we are. My name is Grayson Butcher. I've lived in District D for 28 years. I've been married to 25 years to my wife. We have two daughters that are grown, one's at Centenary College. I started out. I've got both a public and a private background. I was started out as a volunteer firefighter in that area for the Ellerby Road Volunteer Fire Department in 1987. I moved up through the ranks, became the fire chief. During that, I also had a parallel career with my family-owned real estate business that started in 1937 in Spring Hill. So I have kind of both a public and a private background, which I think might be beneficial to the council. The reason that I decided to run, Erin, was because I was looking at some of the candidates that were running. I got in kind of late, and I just felt like with my history in the community and what I've done, I was the justice of the peace for the last 4.5 years also out there. I felt like I knew the community, I knew the people, and I knew what our needs were.
Top on that priority needs list.
Oh, crime has got to be taken care of. I mean, we've got to get our crime under control, whether it be a perception or not. I'm still friends with a lot of people. I grew up till I was 14 in Spring Hill, and I'm still friends with a lot of the people up there. And they've been following my Facebook, and one of them put on my Facebook the other day, I don't come to Shreveport after dark. And I thought, well, that's a horrible thing. I mean, we're supposed to be the hub of this area, and whenever we're not pulling that 6,000 people or 5,500 people from Spring Hill, Minden, Mansfield, they're going elsewhere because they're scared to come here. Now, is it a perception? I don't know. I know that our crime is up. I know our murders are up. So we've got to get our crime rate.
It's one thing to talk about that, Grayson. What do you do? Do you get a new police chief? Do you hire more officers? Do you pay them more? What do you do?
I do think that having been a fire chief and run a fire department, managed a fire department and personnel, I think it always starts at the top. Now, having said that, as a councilman, we cannot fire the police chief, but I do support mayoral candidates who have a vision for new leadership in the police department. So I think that's one thing. Also, we have the majority, like 35 to 40% of our officers are behind a desk and not on the street. I don't think the solution when you've lost 12,000 people or projected 12,000 people in the census is for us to go and hire more officers. We need to better utilize the officers that we have.
I'm getting a lot of calls and questions from your district. They biggest concerns in District D are, is my garbage getting picked up? Is my water running? But another thing a lot of people are saying, the disparity they've been seeing in their water bills.
Exactly.
Have you been able to get to the bottom of that? What is going on with that, and how can you help solve that as a council member? Because you know if you're elected, your phone's going to ring off the hook about these kind of things.
It did as justice of the peace. People would call me as JP wanting to know what I could do about their water and trash issues. So I'm used to that. But having said that, I'm also a real estate investor. I'm an appraiser, real estate broker is what I do full-time now. I own several properties in Shreveport, and we have one property that's in the Piermont area that our water bill is $300. And I had been calling, the house is vacant. I had been calling them about a leak that I felt, no, you don't have a leak, you don't have a leak. I think that it all goes back to what I feel is customer service. And I think whenever you're an elected official or you work for a public entity, you have to go in as, I am your employee. You know, I mean, if I'm elected, I'm Erin's employee,
right,
and I have to treat you as my boss. And I think sometimes, you know, my wife kept calling, trying to get this, and finally they did remedy it. It took about 4 months and threats of the water being cut off, but it was remedied. It was their problem. They adjusted my bill, but it shouldn't be that difficult. And people talk about bringing businesses to Shreveport. Okay, let's look at Bentler Steel. They overpaid $30,000 over a 3-year period for their sewer. I mean, how can you expect to bring companies, Fortune 500 companies, into Shreveport if we don't have our house in order?
Let's talk about the budget a little bit. Do we have enough money in Shreveport? Does Shreveport government have enough money?
That's kind of a hard question to answer due to the fact that we don't have an open checkbook. I mean, all I can see is what you can see online, and it's very vague. I'm a commissioner on the Caddo Parish Communications District. Our budget is line item. You can go right now, call for a copy of the budget or look at it. I don't know if it's online, but look at it online and say, okay, this is what they spent their money on. In the city budget, it's just broken down into categories. So my knee-jerk reaction to that question is, I think we do. I mean, $400 million, 4.8, I believe is what it is, and then another 800 million and 80 million in capital improvements. We're almost $500 million. What we have to do is, I know in my personal spending, I sometimes overspend. My business spending, oh yeah, I need a new computer when I probably didn't. So I think what we have to do is forensically go in and look at what these things are being spent on and what these department heads, if they actually need these things. So to answer your question, I'm not sure because I'm not there. I don't see what the budget is.
Lastly, before I let you go this morning, what sets you apart, Grayson Butcher, from the other candidates in District D?
I think that the learning curve for me, I have handled bond indebtedness. I've handled budgets, multi-million. I mean, I was the CAO of a fire department, actually being a fire chief. I handled over a $1 million budget. My experience on the Caddo Parish Communications District, I approved that budget, and it's a multi-million-dollar budget. So I have that experience. I think me coming in, the learning curve is going to be shorter than some of the other people running.
Grayson Butcher, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
1017 FM 710 Keel. Right now, here is Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Kings Highway near Linwood Avenue, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Rain chances ramping back up tonight and will take us through the day on Saturday. Clouds in the forecast today with a shower, 72. Showers likely tonight, low 59. Rain likely in the morning tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 68. Sunshine on Sunday. Sunday's high, 63. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel. Rain chances.
Of information. KEEL News now.
Shreveport Police will no longer host or promote prayer vigils. The move comes after Chief Alan Crump got a letter from the Freedom from Religion Foundation. The foundation, also involved in the suit of the Bossier school system, says by promoting Christianity, the department is alienating a lot of citizens, and a law enforcement agency should avoid anything that appears to create bias towards any one group of people. Officers cleared in a fatal shooting. Matt Parker with that.
A Caddo grand jury says that 2 Shreveport police officers were justified when they shot and killed an auto theft suspect. Officers Cody Walsworth and Gregory Washington both fired shots at and killed Michael Ducati after a car chase back in August. Ducati was armed when police contacted him, and he allegedly attempted to run the officers over shortly before shots were fired. From 1017 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
The sheriff of Caddo Parish is not very happy about how money is being spent from the criminal justice reform savings. Caddo Parish is said to be getting over $900,000, but the sheriff says that number's really not quite accurate.
The truth of the matter is that there was a lot of people let out of jail, and a lot of them were violent, and a lot of them were sex offenders. And to say that they were nonviolent, non-sex offenders, you can change the definition of broccoli all you want to, but that doesn't make it a hamburger.
Now, Caddo DA James Stewart says the money is a good start, but the state still has a long way to go. Parents are outraged about the actions of a Bossier Parish teacher who's accused of video voyeurism. We asked Superintendent Scott Smith about the case.
It's allegedly happened at school, and my understanding is that the charge is video voyeurism at this time. But I know that there's an investigation still going on.
The teacher, Aubrey Norcross, has been placed on leave without pay. Some parents say similar accusations were leveled against Norcross a couple of years ago, but he was never charged. Smith, though, says he's not aware of anything of this nature happening before.
We have no knowledge. This person has been a long-time employee of our school system, and never any incident reported that I'm aware of anything of this nature.
Norcross has been placed on leave without pay pending the investigation. Bossier police trying to find the robber or robbers who held up the Raceway gas station on Old Minden Road twice in 5 days. The first robbery happened on October 8th. There was another one on October 13th. You can see the suspects online at KEELnews.com. 2 people were killed Wednesday night in a car crash on Highway 80. According to Caddo deputies, a Toyota RAV4 was trying to pass a pickup truck when they collided head-on with a Pontiac Vibe. A passenger in each vehicle died in that crash. The Mega Millions jackpot is now over $900 million, and people are lining up to buy tickets. One woman explains how she picks her numbers.
I use my kid's birthday, my grandkid's birthday, mine, my mother's, and my daughter's. And I put them in wherever.
The jackpot, the second largest of any U.S. lottery in history. The next drawing is Friday night. Government cooperation to fight election tampering may be improving. Election officials and federal cybersecurity agents are touting improved collaboration aimed at confronting and deterring efforts to tamper with elections. The Boston Red Sox are on their way to the World Series, beating the Houston Astros 4-1 to win the ALCS in 5 games. TBS's Brian Anderson with the final call.
1 ball, 1 strike. Kimbrel deals in the air, deep left field, hit well. Benintendi on the run. He's got it! And the Boston Red Sox are headed to the World Series.
Boston now waits to see who they will face in the World Series. The LA Dodgers look to win the NLCS tonight with a 3-2 series lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. The state of Nebraska has changed its slogan from Visit Nebraska, Visit Nice, to the new one, Nebraska, honestly, it's not for everyone. And apparently tourism numbers seem to bear that out. State tourism officials say Nebraska consistently ranks as the least likely place tourists plan to visit. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. 1017 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin in the morning. And Dan Keel is here with us, another special guest in studio.
The City Council's very important gig, and this is a candidate for District D, Joey Hester.
Joey, we've been sitting here talking LSU football. I'm loving the new helmets the LSU Tigers are going to wear are going to change colors.
Yes, ma'am. They'll be purple, and they'll change into yellow when the lights hit.
Oh, man, I vote for you. No, I'm just you are running for – why on earth are you doing this? Why are you running for city council?
Well, I thought about it last night, and I was asked by several people, and we're going to be that last group that has to set Shreveport up for the next generation. That's our biggest thing. We need to set Shreveport up on its path for the next generation. The people that are going to change Shreveport are the people that are 20 and 30 and business owners right now. Mm-hmm. But we've got to set that path for them to take over when their time comes.
Tell people about you, Joey, who you are, what you do, your background.
All right, I'm Joey Hester. When I left the United States Marine Corps, I became a Shreveport policeman. I retired as a Shreveport lieutenant, and I've worn a badge for 37 years. Mm. And I have 4 sons and a daughter. One works right here at your station. Mm-hmm. Adam, Jacob, and Chance are both down in Baton Rouge. And I have 2 small children, and they are just soccer players extraordinary.
Right. Your policing has got to be a priority for you with that background.
Yes, ma'am. I know all the guys.
Do you have confidence in our police chief and in how we're handling the crime issues?
I think that the police chief we have now, I've known him for years, and I think he is a nice person, about as nice a person you'd ever want to meet. But right now in Shreveport's history, we don't need nice. We're going to need a police chief that's willing to get out and lead by example, also lead by getting into the neighborhoods with the guys. Past police chiefs, it was nothing for them to call at 1 o'clock in the morning and say, "This is car 1. Would you meet me for coffee?" Scare you to death. So you get there, he just wants to drink coffee and find out what's going on. We don't have that anymore. We don't have a police chief that's a policeman.
Okay. Economic development and jobs. Our city is losing people. I have a son who may be moving out of town when he finishes his college. He says, "Mama, the opportunities here are not nearly what they are in other places." How does one city council member start the ball rolling to help change that?
Well, first thing I think we've got to do is, I know everybody says GM, but we have the port. The port is really going to be one of our stars. We need to concentrate on transportation hub. We need to concentrate on our medical. We need our state senators to come down here. They fight over if we're going to keep LSU. I want to expand LSU. We need to be the medical hub. Why should people have to go to Houston for medical treatment? We have LSU, the star of the state, right here. We can't just concentrating on all the tech part of it. We do have cyber command. That's a very important thing. We've even got to get with the schools about, we need carpenters, we need welders, we need business people that are going to be building in Shreveport. But to build here, you got to have people that can build it.
You got to have schools that can educate their kids too.
Yes.
I know that the city council has no control over the schools, but do we need to do a better job of working together with the school board and the city council in making improvements? Because a lot of people come to town. If they come here for a job or for military, they look at the schools because that's where they want to live to put their kids in school, and so they go to Bossier.
Okay. One, we've got to expand. I would triple expand our career center. I mean, these are people that are training people to do these jobs. We're also our own worst enemy. People will tell you these schools are so bad. These schools are so bad. My kids go to Uri Drive, and they went to University Elementary, both public schools. Love them. Best schools I ever been to. Nice people, very informed. If you have a problem, they jump right on it. But we downgrade ourselves. Oh, we got the worst schools. I love Uri Drive. the Uri Drive, and they have that. You're going to have general classes. There are kids in general classes, but they also have advanced. They have excelled. I don't need to go to a magnet school. My kids are all in the advanced and the excelled classes, and they begged me to go to Uri Drive. That's where their friends go. They fully intend to go to Captain Shreve High School.
Can you work better with the school board, though?
Oh, yeah, we can always work better with anybody that'll work with us.
Public investment in private developments, i.e. Cross Bayou. Do you support things like that? Do you say no automatically? Where are you? Somewhere in between?
Yes, I would say in between, because I think Cross Bayou is a good idea. I think it's too big of a scale to start with. We've got to go with private and public partners to develop the city of Shreveport. It's like we said before. You've got to build it. You've got to employ people. They had a study done one time for the city of Shreveport, and what is the number one job in the city of Shreveport? Cashier.
Oh, okay.
Cashier is the number one job in this town. We don't need no more restaurants and stuff. We need something that's going to develop and employ hundreds of people, all the way down from the small businessman up to mid-level industrial.
Can you do something, a pet peeve of mine? 1998, I think it was, we voted for a park at Cross Bayou. There's no park. We voted the bond issue for that. I think in 05, we voted for lights on and sidewalks on Knight Street. These are just two examples of things that were voted on years ago, and in one case, decades ago, that are not done. Somebody needs to be held accountable. Can you help me figure out, if you're elected, let's go back and look at all these bond issues, and what have we promised, and what's done and what's not? Somebody needs to track this stuff. And where's the money?
Well, and I've listened to you before and heard you discuss it before. And actually, me and a small group of people that we talk to every day, that was one of the deals. We need to go back I don't care if we go back to 1970. Everything that the people voted on that was a bond issue, I need to know where the money is, why the work wasn't done. Is it going to be done? Because if it's not going to be done, return the people's money to them. It was their money. It wasn't the city's money or the state's money. It was the people's money. And if you're not going to build it, give me my money back.
Right.
I mean, that's just as simple as it is. We've got to go back all the way to the 70s and find out where each project was, get each project completed. And on our contractors, we need to say, I want it completed by this day. Now, I don't care what you got to do, night, whatever, this day. Now, if it's not completed by this day, it's $100 a day that you're going to owe the city. Every day that's not complete, we got to hold contractors. I want it completed. I don't want to Kings Highway and Uri Drive drove me crazy.
Oh boy,
it was
no
years
kidding.
to get that done.
Absolutely. Talking to Joey Hester. Lastly this morning, what sets you apart from the others in the District D council race?
Well, I'm not an elected official. I'm not a politician, never ran. My deal was I'm a citizen of Shreveport. And I think it's time for the citizens of Shreveport to take over their government. People laughed at a forum I was at because I told them I'm never going to wear a tie. Don't wear ties, don't like ties. I'm not going to be that suit that's in City Hall. You come tell me what you want me to do, and that's what we're going to get done. I'm going to have a meeting every month. Y'all tell me, and what sets me apart is I'm going to put on my page, this is what City Council's doing. This is what they want to vote on. Now, yes, no, or I don't know. You tell me how you want me to vote, because I'm going to vote the way District D tells me to vote.
And maybe not what's in the best interest of the entire city.
I represent District D first and the City Council second.
Joey Hester. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Look it out.
1017 FM 710 Keel. Right now, let's check in with Ruben.
The intersection at Greenwood Road and Joella Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Rain chances ramping back up tonight and will take us through the day on Saturday. Clouds in the forecast today with a shower, 72. Showers likely tonight, low 59. Rain likely in the morning tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 68. Sunshine on Sunday. Sunday's high, 63. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KeelNews.com. KeelNews.com.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
In testimony yesterday, Harvard University admitted that they require higher SAT scores from Asian Americans than they do from other races. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans can score 1,100. White students can score 1,300, but Asians must have 1,350 for women and 1,380 for men.
You know, there should really be more pushback against all of this admissions rigging against Asians, especially among liberals who tend to pride themselves on defending minorities and equal opportunities. And even though the Asians have voted for Democrats overwhelmingly, it looks like Democrats have taken them for granted.
It's time to stop.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin in the morning. Robert will be back on Monday. Dan Keel is here.
You know, and I asked a question checking about violations of the Shreveport water systems. If they had any of these TTH, MRI things.
Yeah.
Or problems with chlorine or
with the Department of Health?
With the Department of Health, none. They had a slight turbidity issue in February, but that's a different deal.
I also got copied on a letter that has been written to Governor Edwards and the state health folks, Jimmy Guidry, urging for something to be done about Bossier Water. They're saying you cannot let this continue. They're not handling this situation correctly. Please step in. The governor's office needs to get involved. So they're asking the governor's office now to get involved with the water situation in Bossier.
It sounds like they might have some options operating other plants, and I think that Erin Brockovich's people are going to stay on this until they get invited to come down and help.
Yeah, I have asked. In fact, I've been asked for contacts from the Erin Brockovich folks because they want to bring them here to do a public event, a lecture of some sort. And so I've connected the two sides, and we shall see what they do when they do it. It's going to be interesting. It's just one of those things. I don't think this is going away, and we're getting calls from Benton now that their water is smelling like the chlorine. So it's a tough call, definitely. 1017 FM, 710 Keel, and here's Kim Commando.
Now is a really bad time to buy an iPad, a MacBook, a Mac Mini, or AirPods. You need to wait until October 31st. Kim Commando with your Friday Consumer Tech Update. Get tech news and security alerts with the free Commando podcast, available on Apple Podcasts and Google Play. Every October, Apple comes out with new hardware just in time for the holidays. We're expecting a new iPad Pro that's 11 inches and uses Facial ID like the iPhone does for purchases and unlocks the device when you look at it. The iPad Pro is supposedly thinner and the bezel border gone. A new 13-inch MacBook Air is also rumored that's less expensive and has a Retina display. I hope it has multiple USB-C ports, too. Professionals have their sights on an updated Mac Mini Pro, and there's speculation about new AirPods, too. If you have an older iPad Pro or MacBook Air, now's the time to sell it. On October 30th, Apple announces the new ones. I'm Kim Commando. When you're hiring, you don't want to waste time sorting through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. You need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed.com for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Good news, you're not stuck with your healthcare plan. Really, you have an option, and it's so good. Hundreds of thousands of people are already doing it. It's growing very fast. It's called MediShare. It's a healthcare sharing ministry, which means you can save a ton. The typical family saves $500 a month, and it's truly about sharing. You're helping others while you're doing what's best for your family. This has been a huge blessing for so many. Find out more. Call 855-25-SHARE. That's 855-25-SHARE.
1017 FM and 710 Keel for breaking news and trending talk. If your neighbors are talking about it, we're talking about it. And you can get even more of the hot topics at KEELnews.com. KEELnews.com.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Kings Highway near Linwood Avenue, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Rain chances ramping back up tonight and will take us through the day on Saturday. Clouds in the forecast today with a shower, 72. Showers likely tonight, low 59. Rain likely in the morning tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 68. Sunshine on Sunday. Sunday's high, 63. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.